Hey there. I couldn't help but notice this property yesterday when I was looking on here, and I wanted to take a look at it today. It is January 19th, 2025, and I'm looking at Michigan Upper Peninsula, and this is in the Seney area. Let me show you on the map where this one is. So it is not too far from Lake Superior, close to Grand Marais, and the location is really pretty good, I'd say, in between big cities. So let's take a look at this. It was just listed. It came up as new. It's already had 31 saves this week, which is pretty good. So you know there's something. It's 22 acres for only 115, which is very reasonable in my opinion. It is small, 491 square foot, but if you're looking for a weekend place to get away or just for a couple or something, this could be a very nice place. So I'm going to flip through pictures first here and take a look. Let me blow them up. So they took a nice snowy picture. They have an antenna. They have, it looks like a nice pole barn. You can see all the snow they've gotten the last couple weeks up there. Some nice pine trees on site. Here's a side view from the driveway. You can see they have a deck full of snow. A barn garage, and here's some inside. So here's why the price is so low. So this is going to be a fixer-upper, but look at the pine. That's going to be pretty. Needs new cabinets. There's a refrigerator. Looks like it's kind of been stripped. Ceiling fan. I see outlets and light switches, so that's good. There's some kind of a note on the door, so maybe, I'm not sure. I can't quite read that. Even if I zoomed in, I don't think I can read it. Needs updated floor, has old style cabinets, outlets. So you'd want to make sure the electrical was up to date. There is a fireplace in the kitchen. Okay, maybe. I don't know, I think the walls are going to sell this. It looks really nice in the ceiling. Stove. This room is a total redo, already down to the wood. This looks like it's, not sure what this is. Here's on the bottom of the deck, right? So that's nice. You'd have a covered place to go outside with, so you can see how much less snow there is there. View from the door. Garage. Not sure what that is on the side. So I wonder what happened here. I wonder, did they have water damage, or was it a rental, or is it just not taken care of all this time? It was like a heat duct maybe, like what's going on with that? So definitely you would want to have a contractor maybe look at this with you if you decide to go look at it. Have somebody that can help you look at the mechanicals, like, is the electrical good? Is the heat system good? This looks like a water heater. That looks like it's in good shape. I'm not sure what this is. This like boiler, is it a furnace? I'm not sure. I'm definitely not a technical. Okay, this looks very old. But on the other hand, like, you can put in what you want, right? You just cut this out and put in all new, and it could be really nice. It looks great from the outside. I was not expecting it to be a dump on the inside. Here's this little shed porchy thing here. Some pictures of the outside, so some good big trees, some kind of outside something. I can't quite see what's in there. Oh, now your husband or boyfriend or the guys would really like this, right? You need a place to pull the snowmobiles in and work on them, or the car. This looks really nice. Looks very used, the oil on the floor. I wonder if they have heat in here. Is this, that almost kind of looks like a wood stove. Can't quite tell. So I see lots of potential. This could be like a wood shed, maybe. Hard to tell. Pretty landscape. Snow blowing up the garage door. So for the price and location, I think this is a very good deal. You can see on the map, it is on a main road. It is near Greenhaven. It is in between Grand Marais and Seney, closer to the lake shore. Let's see what the street view looks like. Sometimes this is interesting. So this is definitely not in the winter. I'm going to try and see if I can. Here, let me try on my, I have a Google map open, that might be better. Let's turn on the satellite view. Looks like a little water across the street, and here is Greenhaven Lodge. So one of the things that we always looked for when we were buying our property in the UP, we bought 100 acres last May in the Newberry area. And what was important to us was to be by the trails. And for side-by-sides and four-wheelers, you're not allowed to ride on this the M roads, M77. But if you can find a way, or if a neighbor would let you drive through their property perhaps to get to this is a trail, Adams Trail, that connects to one of the main DNR trails. So whether or not you can come out the back and get to that trail, that would be something I would be curious about, because it's really close to the trail, or maybe the neighbor would let you drive through their yard to get down there. But you'd have to definitely ask. So they have a U-drive, which is nice. There's a building up front, there's the house, and then there's the garage. And remember, that looked like it was kind of up a hill. And they have like torn up area in the back. Trees, you can see the trees in the satellite. This satellite looks like, I'm not sure when it was taken. It's saying 2025, but that can't be right. Sometimes the dates change down there when you zoom, but I'm not seeing anything. So I do see this, like, here's a trail right here. So maybe that is what they're using to get. You just need to ask the neighbors, because it sure looks like that would get you right to it if they let you do that. All right, I wanted to see if I could get on the road level to see what this looks like from the road. So on Google Maps, if you grab this little orange guy here and kind of drop him on the road, and it doesn't always work because some areas are not as good as other areas. So this is saying 2024, and you're by an intersection, and there's a power pole in the front yard, and there's a couple trees. If you click down the road here, you can kind of go down and see what this looks like from the street. So there's one little garage. It's got some trees right around the house, which is nice for shade. Yeah. So then, like, I don't know if I can zoom in. No, it looks a little funny. I think it's just a picture. So there's the drive and the other barn. It's kind of up on a hill. Let's see what across the street you're looking at, a field and trees. So that's nice. No immediate neighbors. And you can kind of go down. I'll go down the street a little bit and see. I don't see anything. This might be wetlands, right? It kind of looked like it was wet on the map. And then if I go the other way, there's that, the Adams Trail is up here, right? So I don't see any obvious four-wheeler riding out here. And here's the trail road. So nothing across the street. I probably can't go up in there because it's dirt. So yeah, so that's where the trail road is. Okay. All right, let's go back and look at the property. So 115 for its 22.4 acres, which I think is just great for that price with something that you could live in. 1955 is when it was built. And this says it is located near Adams Trail, south of Grand Marais, 22.4 of stunning wooded rolling land. It is a 32 by 48 metal pole building. Has ample space for storage, which we saw. Detached 16 by 26 one-car garage. Has wood heat, propane wall furnace, 2 bathrooms, and a walkout basement with an upper level deck that creates a covered space below, which we saw. Some repairs and updates are needed. This property is brimming with possibilities, being sold as is with no warranties. So when they say being sold as is with no warranties, if you are trying to get a special loan through the bank, like a FHA or veterans or something, VA loan, the bank is going to want it to be livable. So if there's anything wrong with the house that requires fix to be livable, then your loan would not be approved. So when you see as is, it's kind of better to have either conventional loan or to pay cash or to try and do seller paid financing or something, because some banks they're not going to give you money for a house you can't live in. So that's what the as is means. And here just gives you some details. It's got a refrigerator, dryer, oven, washer, electric fireplace, wall heat, has one fireplace. And we saw the deck and the garage. There's no HOA. So down here is where it gives you the tax amount. So they're paying $2,000 a year on taxes, which is based on their value when they bought the home. Michigan has a kind of a different kind of a tax program where when you sell a home, the tax value is based on the value of the home, so it will adjust. So your first year you may pay this $2,000, but then after that it will adjust to whatever you paid, like what the value is. So it could go up like quite a bit. It could double. And there is a Michigan tax estimator site I'll show you in a while that you can kind of predict what your taxes will be. And this tells you it's in Burt Township. It says commercial zoning. I don't know that that's right. I don't always believe these. I'll show you how to get the tax ID and get that information. And this just gives you kind of the things about the building. It's got electric, it's got sewer. It says electric available, so I don't know if that means the electric's not hooked up right now. That might be part of the why it's as is. I don't know. You'd have to ask. And you can look down here to see how often they've tried to sell this, and this looks like it has not been sold for a long time, which is good. And we looked at the map, and down here also you can kind of get school district and if it's in a flood zone or that kind of thing, but I think this area is pretty good. It's an established house. So yeah, so we looked at the map. It is it's kind of in between. You have a lodge here. There's not a lot of neighbors. So groceries, gas, like that kind of thing. restaurants. You're not going to have much here. You're going to have to go to Grand Marais, or you're going to have to go to Seney or Manistique or something farther away. Let's look at gas though, because I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, you're in the middle kind of nothing. So you'd have to, get gas down here or go to Grand Marais, which doesn't look like it's too far. So from that location, let's see what happens if I do directions. Directions. And I am at 10677. Oh, so there's, yeah, from the property to Seney, it's 15 miles. So you're 15 miles from M28. And then if you wanted to go to the bridge, let's put in Mackinac Bridge here. So this property is about an hour and a half from the bridge, which isn't too bad. Okay. Another thing you can do is look at the county. So Alger County, you can look at their tax map, which is what this is. You just search Alger County taxes, and you can look at it's usually called a GIS map. And then you can put the address in. This kind of gives you what the property looks like, what the parcel looks like, and you can see who the neighbors are. So there's like a little square here, and it's kind of got some odd shapes around. So this person owns this, and then a different person owns this. This is the property in question. You can see the legal description of what it is, and then we were talking about the trail coming off. Right here is the trail you can see. So when I click back here, this comes up Great Lakes Forest, so it seems like this is owned by, I'm not sure if it's the government, Great Lakes Forest, I'm not sure what that is, but so you're not going to have any neighbors behind you, and then that might be where you can get through to that trail, because it looks like they own all the way around that trail, that Adams Trail. So I thought that was kind of interesting. This also gives you the parcel number. So you can take this parcel number and jot it down, and you can call. It is Alger County Burt, B-U-R-T Township zoning. Call the zoning and make sure that there's nothing wrong with what they have here, that it's not zoned commercial or whatever. If there's anything special you need to know about the property, if there's been anything reported or whatever, just to make sure that the parcel is okay. And then I took that parcel number and I put it in the Alger County DS&A, which is the tax site. Alger County does not allow you to look to see if their taxes are paid. You can pay for that. It's like $6, but you can put in the address or the parcel number and it'll pull it up. So here's the owner. So I'm not sure, this says Wilmington Savings Fund Society, but then when you look here, it was Earl M. Thorne. So that's not sure what the difference is there, but when you click on this, it'll just say, hey, are you the owner or not? So if you're not, you can do this pay as you go to look at it if you want to. And then the other resource you might like to look at is the Burt Township zoning. So you can search this online and this will come up. I'll put the link in the description. Most townships have something out there. And then you can look and see. I believe this one came up as a resource production when I looked at the map to see what it is. And this tells you, you're allowed to have a single family dwelling. You're allowed to have seasonal dwellings, gravel pits, horses, agriculture. So this is the things you can do automatically without permission. And these here are the permitted accessory uses. So you can do these without permission. And then conditional means you can do this if you get you have to apply to have these things. So you could have a campground, boat library, sawmill, home occupation, fur farms. So you have to get approval by a permit to do those things. And then it's always helpful to know what Burt Township does for everything else. So, like, they have a special section for pictured rocks because part of pictured rocks is in here. So, just things you can look at to see what kind of township you could potentially be moving into. And here is the property tax estimator. I'll put a link in the description. You put in your county, what township, and then it was only the one option for the school, and you hit search, and then you put in what the value is. So if you look at what they were paying, I think I saw this somewhere. Oops. Value. I think I saw it on here. I saw it somewhere. Not there. So, okay, I'm not sure where it was, but for example, maybe the value that the state has it as is at 70,000, so, which is what I think I saw somewhere. But so they would be paying $2,100 a year right now if they live there with the homestead exemption, right? So when you purchase this, if you were to pay the 115 that they were asking for, then you would be looking at 3451 taxes. So this gives you an idea of what the taxes would be should you buy it at that price. All right, I figured out what is up with this property. This is a foreclosure. I just saw this. Under land info, it says lot size dimensions, foreclosure, survey recommended. So the people that owned this had not been able to pay their bills and that went back to the bank. So this is most likely a bank-owned property, which makes sense when we were looking at the owner, right? It came up here, it came up Earl Thorne, which is probably the person that owned it, to the bank. And then when we went here, it was showing Wilmington Savings Fund. So that's the bank. So the bank owns this. And unfortunately, with bank, usually they are not very flexible. So you're probably going to have to pay the 115, depending on how much interest there is, which there's a lot of interest. Sometimes banks will take take offers for a certain amount of time, and then they'll give it to the one who pays the most. I would assume that this would appraise for more than 115, probably most definitely, even with the work that's needed. So, and then being a foreclosure, like the people that were there, obviously from the pictures, they kind of tore the place apart. So really have it looked at. Um, contact the realtor. At the bottom of this page, another trick I like to do is just to go to the realtor directly. Don't go through realtor.com because they're just going to send a message. Like if you hit this contact agent, it's just going to go to realtor.com, and then they send a note to the actual listing agent. So if you go to the bottom, it usually tells you who the realtor is. So way down. So David Muxlow at Grover Real Estate. So you can go to Grover Real Estate and contact the realtor directly and just find out what's going on and what you need to do, and what the bank's position is and how they're taking offers, because I think this is probably going to go fast with somebody who has access to the funds quickly and is not, worried about the fix up thing, because I think the land itself and the location is probably worth the price, so yeah, so I think this is going to be a quick seller, especially since I saw, there's 31 saves this week, so there's a lot of people with interest. So if you have any interest in this one, I would get going on it. But just know with foreclosure, there's some added risk, and dealing with a bank instead of a person, right? So not a lot of negotiation, most likely. So here's a view of the ORV map. This is a product called V as in Victor VV Mapping that I have. It's a app you can purchase that goes on a Garmin or a similar GPS device that you can purchase the software, and then it shows you all the trails. So I'll zoom out here and show you. So you can see the purple is basically roads. The yellow are like DNR, Michigan DNR trails. So this shows you where you can and cannot ride, which is very handy. This property is right by, it's in this white area. Can't see property lines, but it is right. So this property would come out to this white area, and then this trail is right here, which takes you to this bigger trail. So you could connect out to more trail systems from this property potentially, depending on, you're not right on the trail, so you'd have to figure out what's allowed. If you can either come out the back and get to here, or what that looks like. And then also I have the snowmobile map we purchased as well from VV Mapping. And then this shows, so this says parking. So that area at the end we saw is like a trailhead. So if you could get there or get to this trail, you should be okay to ride. And then the black is not necessarily the snowmobile trail. It's probably not plowed in the winter. So you'd have to ask the local people there if what goes on with that. Like, can you ride from that parking area to get to this Trail 88? I'm not sure. I have not been in this area riding, so I don't know. Worst case scenario, you might have to come down here where it says parking and then start from there. But you're really close, right? Like, that's pretty close to the trails, if you like to do that kind of thing. So I just wanted to show you that. So that is what I had today. I just wanted to show this. This was showing up yesterday as new, and it was driving me crazy to see what exactly was going on with this property. It looks so great from the road. The inside looks like it needs a total redo, but lots of possibility. It's a really good location. It's year round. You could be there in the summer, you could be there in the winter, very close to trails, very close to, 15, 20 minutes from groceries and gas. It just looks like it could be something really great if you put some time and money into it. And that is all I had today. So take care. Thanks.